There's a moment that happens almost without warning. You open social media, you're not looking for anything specific, and then you see it. Someone your age, someone you went to school with, or someone who chose a safer, more conventional, traditional career path. And before you consciously think anything, a sentence starts to form in your mind. Look how far along they are. And almost immediately, that sentence turns into something way heavier. Like, man, I'm behind. Did I choose the wrong path? Did I make the right decisions? Especially if you know you didn't take the traditional route that everybody else did. If you chose creativity, entrepreneurship, purpose driven work, a path that didn't come with a checklist or a guaranteed timeline, and let's be real, it's going to hit you even harder when it's another entrepreneur or creator who started after you. See, that's when those questions in your head start to get even louder. Like, what did they figure out that I didn't? Why are they further along than I am? What am I missing? But here's what comparison is quietly doing in those moments. It's not just making you feel behind, it's rewriting what behind even means to you. See, first, it replaces your original milestones with borrowed ones. So that means you stop measuring your progress by what you set out to build and you start measuring it by what somebody else has already secured, whether that's money, stability, a family, or a lifestyle that you personally would love to have. And when that happens, behind no longer means that you're off track. It means not matching somebody else's journey. And most people don't realize that their benchmark has changed. They just feel that emotional hit and they assume that something is wrong. And then second, you got comparison reframing patience as delay instead of a strategy. That same pace that once felt intentional, now you feel like you're delayed, you're slow. Not because your behavior changed, but because somebody else has reached that certainty a lot faster than you have. That means what was disciplined now feels like procrastination, and what was focused now feels like doubt. See, nothing about your effort actually shifted. Only the meaning attached to it did. And then third, comparison starts to turn difference into a deficiency. See, different paths, they require different timelines, but comparison ignores that truth. See, once that happens, choosing the harder or the less conventional path, it's going to stop feeling brave to you and it's going to start feeling like you made a mistake. And that's where your identity starts to erode. Because when comparison starts to get loud, it doesn't just question your results, it questions your competence as a man or a woman, as a provider, as an entrepreneur or a creator, and as somebody who's capable of making good decisions. And that's dangerous, not because it's true, but because it's so subtle. You don't quit, you don't explode, you don't even have a breakdown or nothing like that. All you start to do is just hesitate. You start to second guess, you start to slow down, and you start to look beside you instead of looking in front of you. And that progress that was happening very quietly, it starts to stall. But here's the truth that you cannot miss. You can't miss this, okay? Feeling behind usually isn't about effort or intelligence. Not at all. It's often about one of three things. First, the other person, they started earlier than you did. Or two, they stayed locked in on one thing longer than you. Or three, you're comparing your start or the struggles along your journey to their highlight reel. You know how easy it is to do that. Because social media, it only shows us the outcomes. It don't show us nobody's origin story. It shows us the revenue, but not always the profit, the big wins, but not the expenses, right? Right? That's exactly what it shows us. It shows us the results, but not the years of uncertainty, the times when those people spent in the trenches long before we saw them. See, a lot of successful creators, they hide their old content. That's why many people on their journey, it looks so clean, but it's not. That doesn't mean that you ignore reality. It doesn't mean that you pretend that comparisons don't exist. What it means is you got to return to your original definition of progress. You got to ask yourself, am I moving forward on my path? Am I developing the skills that I didn't have before? Am I becoming more capable, more disciplined, more precise? Am I building something that compounds even if it is happening slowly? Because the moment you measure your life and your path against somebody else's timeline, that's when you abandon the one thing that actually works, the thing that's yours, because you're not behind. You're building deliberately. You're on a path that was never meant to move at somebody else's pace. And the answer right now isn't for you to speed up or go faster. Don't do that out of panic. All you got to do is stay aligned long enough for your efforts to compound and for the results you've been waiting for to show up. This is hard for a lot of people to acknowledge, but I gotta say this. I got to say this. You gotta remember this. If you don't remember anything else, remember this. Slow progress is still progress. Quiet growth is still growth. And what matters most now isn't where other people are. It's that you stay locked in on your path and where you're going. So if you're an entrepreneur or you're a creative and you know deep down, yo, it's not too late for you, no matter what your life may look like right now. This channel is for you, and I want to invite you to check out more videos that can help you to lock in, to make progress, and to wake up every single day doing work that you love. I appreciate you for watching. Stay blessed.